Now at 9, how Crowder College is transforming a Joplin building into a new workforce training center. Plus, Webb City Schools announce its next superintendent starting next school year.
'Tis the season to deck the halls at the White House. I'm Rebecca Castor in Washington. We'll show you this year's White House holiday decorations coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. The Missouri Highway Patrol releases its annual report on Thanksgiving weekend fatalities. Troopers investigated a total of 431 crashes that resulted in 138 injuries and 4 fatalities. Last year, by comparison, the MHP investigated 414 crashes that resulted in 115 injuries and 8 fatalities. This year also saw 103 DWIs and 10 drug arrests. There were not any boating crashes or drownings. Joplin police say a pedestrian who was struck by a pickup on Rangeline Road over the weekend has died of his injuries. The crash happened Saturday near 29th Street. Authorities have identified the victim as 65-year-old Kevin Akuli, who was reported homeless. According to police, Akuli was yelling at passing vehicles before stepping in front of traffic on Rangeline. Police say Akuli was not in a crosswalk and the driver was not ticketed. Well, Chris Warner joins us with a first look at your forecast.
Yeah, we had a pretty chilly day across the area. We did a little better than what we were expecting for highs, but not where we're supposed to be. Skywatch Storm Tracker earlier was showing us where we had no clouds. A few clouds still possible here and there, especially if you look out to the south and toward the west. We could get a few of those scraping some of our southern counties, but otherwise a pretty pleasant evening ahead of us, but a chilly one. Earlier, MoDOT camera 32nd and Rangeline showing the traffic out there, folks heading home. We're potentially heading for some more Christmas shopping. We had a great view of downtown from our camera on the Cornell complex there as well, looking fantastic earlier this evening. And we started the day at 22. That's 11 degrees below where we're supposed to be for this time of year. Made it up to 49, so not as bad, only 5 degrees off of our average high, but still not where we are supposed to be. In fact, some locations, Neodesha, for example, started the day in the teens. You can see our temperature trend. Average high is 54. We've been near that Saturday, below that Sunday, below that today. We'll be below that tomorrow, but getting closer, and then we'll start to go above average as we head into the middle and end of this week. And some things we're keeping an eye on. The winds are going to start getting gusty tomorrow. Temperatures, as we mentioned, will also begin to warm, and then we have some rain chances heading into this weekend. We'll have a complete look at your forecast, including those rain chances, here in just a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Chris. The Webb City School District today announced its next superintendent. Dr. Brenton Bird will take over the position July 1st. Bird has 25 years of experience in education as a teacher, a principal, and most recently, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction for Webb City. He's taking over the position from Dr. Anthony Rossetti, who's retiring after 15 years with the district. The former Victory Life building in Joplin has a new mission and owner. The new plan is to use the facility to strengthen the workforce. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
We are looking at new programs that the community has been asking us to begin.
Crowder College is the new owner of the former Victory Ministry and Sports Complex. The facility on Hammonds Boulevard in Joplin will provide workforce training.
People don't realize this is Joplin, but it's also in Newton County. And because we are the community college of Newton and McDonald counties, that's how we were established, it's very exciting that we get to have a facility in Newton County, but also serves Joplin.
The state provided $6 million from the American Rescue Plan Act funds to aid with the purchase.
A lot more parking, which is really attractive. I'm going to be able to have a lot more classroom space and give that opportunity, for the years to come.
Last fall, more than 140 students were in training programs. Pearson believes training in the new facility will strengthen students as well as the community.
And growth, knowing that we're going to be able to serve even more people, is probably the most exciting part.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The college has offered programs in the Joplin Advanced Training and Technology Center since 2017. Lafayette House celebrated a big occasion today. Founded in 1978, the domestic violence shelter celebrates 45 years of service to families in the community. Lafayette House, formerly known as the Joplin Family Self-Help Center, has provided a safe environment for people experiencing domestic or family difficulties through services, including those designed to eliminate or reduce domestic violence, as well as address substance use disorders through prevention education. 'Tis the season for giving, but the Better Business Bureau wants to make sure you give wisely. Tomorrow marks Giving Tuesday, and many people will open their hearts and accounts to help others. The Bureau recommends checking out any charities before donating. Plenty of organizations right here in the 4 states could use help. Head over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/lifestyle, for a comprehensive article that can help get you started. Well, this evening, the 44th annual Christmas parade in Pittsburgh took place in downtown Pittsburgh. Around 50 entries took to the streets to celebrate the city's start of the Christmas season. KOAM's Elise Noe was there to capture the Christmas cheer.
'Tis the season for holiday festivities and community celebration. I'm here at the 44th annual Christmas parade in Pittsburgh, and as you can see lined up behind me are dozens of local businesses, organizations, bands, and much more, ready to help kick off the start of the holiday season here in Pittsburgh. Bright, colorful lights, holly, and of course, jingle bells filled the streets of downtown Pittsburgh Monday night, bringing Christmas cheer to the Pittsburgh community.
I'm really excited.
And you too?
It's the best day of my life.
The parade has been the start of the Christmas season here in Pittsburgh for decades and is a core holiday memory for many locals.
Growing up here in Pittsburgh, I mean, even as a little kid coming to these parades, it's kind of cool to be in these shoes now, being a part of the parade.
It's also a time for parents who grew up attending the parade to share new special moments with their children.
Especially Santa at the end. And I have one boy here and 2 other boys right here. So them interacting, it makes me happy. Especially my oldest. He gets so excited. He'd be like, Santa!
And while there's a lot to take in at the parade, most kids are looking forward to a visit from Father Christmas himself, who's trading in his sleigh for a ride on the Pittsburgh Fire Department's fire truck.
Always nice to get to ride in one of the fire trucks. These guys down here are great. They take good care of us and be up there where everybody can see us. It's just wonderful.
And if you're in Pittsburgh and are wondering if you've made it the jolly old man's good list, there's good news.
Well, the majority of them are on the nice list. You know, you always got those 1 or 2 stragglers, but they got plenty of time to make it.
In Pittsburgh, Elise Noe, KOAM News.
Hope I made the nice list this year. The city of Pittsburgh will be hosting holiday events throughout December. For a list of Christmas events in the Pittsburgh area, you can visit our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, Christmas, of course, is right around the corner, and KOAM is always looking to brighten the holiday for kids in the 4 states, and we invite you to join us for our KOAM Toy Box, one of the area's largest toy drives to benefit underprivileged children in our local area. Now, our first Toy Box Tuesday telethon is tomorrow during KOAM News at noon, 5, 6, and for the first year at 9 o'clock. Volunteers will be standing by the phones during that time to take your pledges. Coming up, we'll have some tips to recognize if you or someone you know may be dealing with seasonal affective disorder. Well, the holidays and the end of the year are the busiest time of the year. If you're also feeling pressure during the holidays, you're not alone. A psychologist says it's okay if the holiday season looks different for everyone. Between work, school, family events, and holiday celebrations, there can also be moments riddled with stress and pressure.
There's so many festivities that are going on, and if you're on social media, you're seeing this holiday party or this Thanksgiving thing, and if you don't have a lot of friends or family in town, you can end up feeling isolated. It can really take a hit on your self-esteem. So it's really important to know that everybody celebrates the holidays differently, and maybe if you don't have a lot of people surrounding you, it's a time to volunteer.
The National Alliance on Mental Illness says 64% of people who suffer from mental illnesses say their condition is worse during this season. It's a type of depression that can happen during the changing seasons. Most of the time, those experiencing a seasonal affective disorder feel it in the fall and the winter. Some may not even know they have it. Mandy Gaither has 5 signs of this disorder and how you can cope.
The weather is changing. The days feel shorter. It's colder, more dreary, and getting darker earlier. These can all be triggers for seasonal affective disorder.
And it occurs in 1 to 10% of Americans. It's more common amongst females and people who live in colder climates.
Psychologist Susan Albers with Cleveland Clinic says this disorder is caused by a shift in the seasons, which disrupts our circadian rhythms with less sun exposure.
This in turn interrupts our natural internal clock. As a result, there is a drop in serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that regulates our mood, as well as melatonin, which regulates sleep.
Albers says to watch out for 5 signs: feeling down or unmotivated, loss of interest in things you used to enjoy, shifts in appetite like eating more or craving carbohydrates, changes in sleep, usually sleeping too much, and loss of energy.
The symptoms are similar to depression, but they are much milder and they pass when the spring arrives.
Albers says light lamps can help. They mimic outdoor light. She recommends 20 minutes each morning. Since you're not getting as much vitamin D from the sun, eat foods rich in it. Albers suggests salmon, mushrooms, eggs, fortified bread, and milk. And finally, try cognitive behavioral therapy.
This will help to change some of the negative thoughts you're having during the winter months, as well as establish healthy routines around sleeping and eating.
Well, Chris is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, Carl Junction High School hosts its annual CJ Classic Girls Basketball Tournament. We'll have highlights from the first night of action.
Welcome back. So we had a pretty decent day. It was a little bit on the chilly side out there. Our camera on the Cornell complex had backed up a little bit on us. It likes to do that sometimes. We had a nice sunset out there, but chilly temperatures. MoDOT camera earlier this evening, again, 32nd and range line. Plenty of folks on the road heading home, heading shopping. And, of course, we showed you the Cornell camera there. And the KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh on 69, giving you an important, vital message. Watch for the deer this time of year, because as I learned, they are certainly not watching for you. We talked about some rain chances and warmer temperatures. Let's talk about a little bit of that. You're going to see the warmer temperatures, but we're going to focus on the rain in the future track. So we go into our Wednesday. And by the second half of our Wednesday, we're going to see the temperatures beginning to increase. We're also going to see the clouds beginning to increase. And as we head into Thursday, as you can see, we're going to start to see a few scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two, but this is mainly a rain event. It won't be until later in the evening Thursday that the rain becomes a little more widespread. A few more of us looking to get in on some rain activity, and that will persist overnight and into the first half of our Friday as well. And once we get past Friday, we go back to some scattered chances before we see them pick back up again by Sunday. But at least some much needed rain on the way. Like I said, we have been seeing some improvements in the drought. We still have a long way to go, but it is looking better for us. All right, tonight, below average again. Temperatures falling in the mid to upper 20s out there with a west breeze at about 5 to 10. So we're talking wind chills, low 20s, maybe some upper teens. We head into our Tuesday. Temperatures warmer, but not quite average. We're looking at right around 50. Some of us, though, might get close to average in the low 50s. We'll see some partly cloudy skies, and winds pick up a bit, though. Southwest 5 to 10, gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. Those gusty winds will continue for us as we head into tomorrow night, but our lows, as you can see, right at or just a pinch above average with mostly clear skies, maybe a few clouds here or there, but you can also see the wind gust pick up, gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. We head into our Wednesday. Again, clouds will start increasing in the second half of the day. So we're going to go mostly cloudy then. Ahead of that, though, we'll have some sunshine out there. And the southwest breeze still kicking up, 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusting to 20. Temperatures, though, right at or maybe even a little above average as they go into the mid-50s. So we talked about the rain chances. By the time we get there, we're talking mid-50s average temperatures, rain kicking in Thursday. On Friday, we cool back a bit below average, and then we'll get close to average again heading into Saturday and Sunday. Rain chances will be scattered Saturday, slightly better for force again on Sunday. And then as we head into next week, it is going to be spring-like out there. You're going to start to think the season's got backwards as our highs go into the low, maybe even mid-60s. And save Friday this week, our overnight lows staying above average as well, hanging out in the low to mid-40s across the area. So all in all, not bad. Some good temperatures ahead of us and some much-needed rain chances.
All right, thanks, Chris. An escape artist's pet is finally tracked down. The tortoise Big Boy caused his owner some big heartache when he knocked over his pen and got out in Aurora, Missouri. As Lee Moody tells us, he made it more than a mile before his adventure was cut short.
It is nice to have him back. My little Houdini escape artist.
Big Boy recently went on a big adventure, busting out of his pen at Diane O'Neill's Aurora home for the second time this year.
He's got some injuries on his shelf where he escaped. He got out of a real tight spot. He's smarter than I thought he was and strong.
This time he was gone for a full 3 weeks. The Lee's Lost and Found community shared his post repeatedly, and the Aurora community took notice too, spreading the word across town.
This whole town has come together and has rallied behind this big guy and helped me out and spread the word. And I couldn't be more thankful for everything they've done.
It paid off with someone spotting Big Boy doing his favorite thing.
I mean, a neighbor about a mile away spotted him eating their grass in their front yard, just like nothing was going on. He's been trying the whole time since he's been home to get back out again. And I'm following him around, putting rocks, and my yard looks so funny right now. I've got a makeshift fence that he can't get through it, but it's not real attractive.
Diane says a nice privacy fence is in their future, but until then, she's keeping Big Boy happy at home with tons of treats and lots of attention.
I think we're going to get him his own little Facebook page. That way I can post what he's doing and keep everyone up to date, because he's truly a loved guy. The community absolutely loves him.
Well, coming up, how winter storms caused a travel nightmare for some Americans trying to get back home over the holiday weekend. A recent report by the National Energy Assistance Directors Association says the average household should expect to pay between $787 to more than $2,000 in home heating expenses. So experts have tips to keep you warm without overheating your budget. Get your heating units inspected before winter rolls in. The U.S. Department of Energy recommends lock in to 68 degrees on your thermostat. Well, the Thanksgiving holiday has come and gone, but the winter storm that came with it is still lingering in parts of the central U.S. Fox weather correspondent Nicole Valdez has more from Nashville.
It was a holiday surprise few were looking forward to. The Central Plains slammed with a major winter storm over the Thanksgiving weekend. Up to 8 inches of snow falling in some areas, including Wichita, Kansas, which came close to breaking a record set back in 1888. Snow removal crews now working around the clock in some areas, pleading for those to move their cars as soon as possible so those plows can get through.
Give them space. I mean, it's our first one going out for the season, so even our more experienced drivers, they haven't been in it in 9 months.
Further north in Nebraska, that snow and ice is being blamed for a series of deadly crashes on the busy Interstate 80. It happened during the first heavy snowstorm of the season. Police confirming 3 deaths from 14 different crashes. Officials there say that was all caused by a combination of slick roads, low visibility, and some simply driving too fast.
A lot of traffic, people getting in a hurry, wanting to get places, not thinking and not slowing down.
The storm's also causing misery for millions of Americans trying to get home after the holiday. Hundreds of flights canceled and delayed over the weekend, with air travelers doing their best to stay calm as the snow piled up.
I just think as long as people are kind of mindful of we're all tired, we're all going somewhere, then, it'll be okay.
And the Northeast is up next. Significant lake effect snow is expected to hit the area through Wednesday. In Nashville, Tennessee, I'm Nicole Valdez, Fox Weather.
Well, Honda is recalling hundreds of thousands of vehicles due to an issue with their seat belts. The recall affects nearly 304,000 Honda Accords and HRVs. They were manufactured between October 4th of last year and October 14th of this year. Honda says the defective parts increase the risk of injury in a crash. Up next, a park in Carthage is lit up for the holidays as the water and electric plant hosts its Sparkle in the Park event. Carthage Water and Electric Plant tonight flipped the switch at the 3rd annual Sparkle in the Park at Central Park. Hundreds turned out for hot chocolate, carriage rides, and special photos around the lights. A grant from the Studley Foundation kicked off the project 3 years ago. Now, Carthage Water and Electric workers used nearly 30 miles of lights to illuminate the park. The lights are on daily, sundown to midnight through New Year's Day. Pretty cool. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. The White House announces this year's theme for the annual decorations. Plus, the public pays its respects to the late First Lady Rosalind Carter as she lies in repose.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. The 2023 holiday decor is officially up at the White House. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor gives us a look.
'Tis the season to deck the halls at the White House. From candy-filled hallways to gingerbread in sugar plum fairies, First Lady Jill Biden wants every visitor to feel like a kid again.
Each room is designed to capture this pure, unfiltered delight and imagination.
Nearly 100,000 people are expected to visit the White House this holiday season. The official White House Christmas tree stands tall in the Blue Room, and many of the displays feature the classic holiday poem, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," to celebrate its 200th anniversary. The First Lady hopes the holidays can bring some childlike wonder and joy during a dark time in the world.
You know, children have something to teach us, if we're wise enough to listen, how to remain present, even as a busy world beckons us, how to open ourselves up to love and wonder and to marvel at every moment.
The holiday decor also pays tribute to military families, who were some of the first to see the decorations Monday after a roundtable with the First Lady. One of the first Christmas trees visitors will see is the Gold Star family tree, with ornaments engraved with the names of fallen service members.
This Gold Star tree honors the heroic. I know it's so emotional for those of you who did it. I know there were so many Gold Star families who helped with that tree.
It took over 300 volunteers from across the country 1 week to decorate. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
I'm putting my tree up tomorrow. Lawmakers are not letting up on Ticketmaster and its parent company Live Nation. There may even be a new investigation by the Justice Department looking into claims venues are trapped into using their services. Live Nation says they've produced nearly 10,000 pages of documents after being subpoenaed by a Senate committee as part of its investigation into the company. Well, a series of services to remember former First Lady Rosalind Carter are already starting in Georgia this week. Fox News senior correspondent Steve Harrigan has more on this story from Atlanta.
Memorial services are underway paying tribute to former First Lady Rosalind Carter.
God, we pray for comfort today.
The former First Lady passed away at the age of 96 back on November 19th. Mrs. Carter's remains were transferred at a Phoebe Sumter Medical Center this morning before heading to a repose service at the Carter Presidential Center in Atlanta.
They just believed in supporting hometown health care. So we have been privileged to provide that care for them.
Members of the Carter family, along with her former Secret Service members, carried her casket in a brief ceremony. One of her agents reflecting on protecting the Carters for more than 20 years. He says he traveled to more than 100 countries with Rosalind, mostly on humanitarian trips.
She was very gracious with the things that was done there. And then after they were elected and he went to the White House, she never changed. She kept her same attitude towards all people.
Meanwhile, former President Jimmy Carter, who's 99 years old, has been on hospice care at home since February. The Carter Center telling Fox News that he always wanted to be by Rosalind's side.
Their love story, what a 7 to 7 year love story, just how can you not allow that to inspire you?
The funeral in Plains is scheduled for Wednesday. In Atlanta, Steve Harrigan, Fox News.
Well, a bit later, getting deals while shopping online.
I'm out at the mall, but don't waste your time. You may get a better deal online. That's because it's Cyber Monday. I'm Jeff Flock with the Fox Business Network in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania, and I'll have the full story when we come back.
Welcome back. So we had a pretty decent day. It was a little bit on the chilly side out there. Our camera on the Cornell complex, it backed up a little bit on us. It likes to do that sometimes. We had a nice sunset out there, but chilly temperatures. MoDOT camera earlier this evening, again, 32nd and range line. Plenty of folks on the road heading home, heading shopping. And, of course, we showed you the Cornell camera there. And the KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh on 69, giving you an important, vital message. Watch for the deer this time of year, because as I learned, they are certainly not watching for you. We talked about some rain chances and warmer temperatures. Let's talk about a little bit of that. You're going to see the warmer temperatures, but we're going to focus on the rain in the future track. So we go into our Wednesday. And by the second half of our Wednesday, we're going to see the temperatures beginning to increase. We're also going to see the clouds beginning to increase. And as we head into Thursday, as you can see, we're going to start to see a few scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two, but this is mainly a rain event. It won't be until later in the evening Thursday that the rain becomes a little more widespread. A few more of us looking to get in on some rain activity, and that will persist overnight and into the first half of our Friday as well. And once we get past Friday, we go back to some scattered chances before we see them pick back up again by Sunday. But at least some much needed rain on the way. Like I said, we have been seeing some improvements in the drought. We still have a long way to go, but it is looking better for us. All right, tonight, below average again. Temperatures falling in the mid to upper 20s out there with a west breeze at about 5 to 10. So we're talking wind chills, low 20s, maybe some upper teens. We head into our Tuesday. Temperatures warmer, but not quite average. We're looking at right around 50. Some of us, though, might get close to average in the low 50s. We'll see some partly cloudy skies, and winds pick up a bit, though. Southwest 5 to 10, gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. Those gusty winds will continue for us as we head into tomorrow night, but our lows, as you can see, right at or just a pinch above average with mostly clear skies, maybe a few clouds here or there, but you can also see the wind gusts pick up, gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. We head into our Wednesday. Again, clouds will start increasing in the second half of the day. So we're going to go mostly cloudy then. Ahead of that, though, we'll have some sunshine out there. And the southwest breeze still kicking up, 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusting to 20. Temperatures, though, right at or maybe even a little above average as they go into the mid-50s. So we talked about the rain chances. By the time we get there, we're talking mid-50s average temperatures, rain kicking in Thursday. On Friday, we cool back a bit below average, and then we'll get close to average again heading into Saturday and Sunday. Rain chances will be scattered Saturday, slightly better for us again on Sunday, and then as we head into next week, it is going to be spring-like out there. You're going to start to think the season's got backwards as our highs go into the low, maybe even mid-60s, and save Friday this week, our overnight lows staying above average as well, hanging out in the low to mid-40s across the area. So all in all, not bad. Some good temperatures ahead of us and some much-needed rain chances.
All right, thanks, Chris. Coming up in sports, we'll have highlights of the 47th annual CJ Classic basketball tournament, plus some mutton bustin' halftime show at an NFL game. How much fun. Brock Baldridge has the details and more.
Well, we are on the cusp of the high school basketball season, and tonight, the Carl Junction girls basketball team is hosting their 47th annual CJ Classic. In Game 1, the Nevada Lady Tigers are on a neutral court, facing off against the Springdale Bulldogs. In the first half, Nevada trails by 9, but Clara Swearingen gets the first basket for Nevada. Future Pitt State Gorilla had 15 points in this one. Later in the half, Lucy Swearingen misses, but Lakin Applegate rebounds, and Peyton Eaton, she knocks it down for 3. Tigers down by 7. Springdale led by 9 points at halftime, so in the second half, Jakayla Bunch gets the steal and the layup to go to put the Lady Bulldogs up by 11. So in the fourth period, Clara Swearingen goes to the other Swearingen, Lucy. She gets the 3 ball there. Then later in the game, Lucy Swearingen, the freshman, gets the step back 3 and drains it, but it wasn't quite enough for Nevada as Kaya McCoy gets the layup to go for the Lady Bulldogs there. Springdale goes on to beat Nevada in this one 52-35. So to the second game of the night, Neosho. The Wildcats are taking on the host team of the tournament, the Carl Junction Lady Bulldogs. We start things off in the first period. First basket of the game belongs to Reagan Williams, who drains the three ball. Carl Junction will answer that one right here by a layup by Deshae Berge. He had 4 points tonight. Later in the first half, Neosho up by 2. Declan Garrett, corner, 3, nothing but net. Lady Wildcats lead by 5. Neosho led at halftime in this game 15-12, but Carl Junction, well, they started to get hot. Jaden Howard gets the catch and puts off the glass for 2 points. CJ trails by 2, so then all of a sudden turns into the Kylie Scott show. Kylie gets a steal and goes coast to coast with a layup to tie the game at 24 apiece. Scott once again goes hard to the rim. She gets the move there. Carl Junction goes up by 8. And then once again, Kylie Scott taking matters to her own hands. Left-hand layup is good. 21 points for Scott tonight. Carl Junction completes the comeback. Lady Bulldogs win their first game of the year, beating Neosho 40-34. Well, the St. Louis Cardinals are coming off their worst year since the 1990 season. Since then, the Redbirds are hitting the free agent market hard and starts to bring in starting pitching. St. Louis Cardinals have come into agreement with right-hander Sonny Gray, and according to a report by The Athletic's Ken Rosenthal, once the deal is finalized, this will be a 3-year, $75 million deal. The Cardinals' newest starting pitcher. Gray comes over from the Minnesota Twins last year, and this is already the third starting pitcher that St. Louis has signed this offseason. So here's the free agent acquisitions by the St. Louis Cardinals so far. Clearly the biggest difference from last year to this year will be the starting pitching rotation. Cardinals now added Sonny Gray. Lance Lynn also comes in on a 1-year, $11 million deal. And then Kyle Gibson also with a 1-year, $12 million deal. The newest AP Top 25 poll has been released, and the Kansas Jayhawks, well, they went 2-1 in the Maui Invitational over Thanksgiving, so that means the Jayhawks fell down a few spots. Latest AP Top 25 poll was released Monday morning. Kansas was the top-ranked team in the country, and the Jayhawks have now fell down to number 5 in the nation. Most of that had to do with their 73-59 loss to Marquette on Tuesday. Kansas is back home at Allen Fieldhouse tomorrow night when the Jayhawks face Eastern Illinois. Well, some of you probably saw this, but chances are most of you were watching the Chiefs game when this occurred. At halftime between the Denver Broncos and the Cleveland Browns, the Broncos hosted a mutton busting or sheep riding contest. Young fans held on for dear life as they could see who could hold on for the longest time. Of course, well, there was a challenge to herd all of those sheep in and out of Mile High Stadium. Let's look for sports. We're back with more news right after this.
Cyber Monday is underway. Retailers are hoping it will cap off a whirlwind of spending during the Thanksgiving holiday. Fox Business correspondent Jeff Fluck is at the mall in Plymouth, Meeting, Pennsylvania, with the latest.
Kind of a slow day out here at the nation's shopping malls, but that's not going to stop us from spending. Let's do the numbers on Cyber Monday. It could be the busiest Cyber Monday in history, with consumers around the U.S. expected to spend $12 billion with a B dollars today alone online. That's an increase of about 6% compared to last year. That comes on the heels of what I would call a Cyber Black Friday. Online spending on Black Friday, in addition to that at the malls, $10 billion online. That was an increase of more than 7%. And it all started on Thanksgiving when no stores were open at all. Cyber buying on Thanksgiving Day, $5.6 billion. That was a big increase as well. We talked to a retail consultant who said, yeah, it's been a surprisingly good holiday season, but don't get used to it.
It's been a great year in 2023. Consumers have been out there spending and traveling and making up for the years that they lost during COVID. But it's going to start catching up, and I see it start catching up.
You know, Cyber Monday started when people would come back from their Thanksgiving vacation, get back to their work computer, and then buy things online. Well, now, of course, we can buy things with the phone that's in our hand. And in fact, mobile spending, big too on Thanksgiving Day. Most of the spending online was via the phone, up 14% from last year. As to what we're buying, well, According to the experts, electronics remains the number one thing that people buy online. 23% buy that. Clothes also high, 21%. And toys and hobbies next. Beauty and health, about 10%. Buy that stuff online. Not a whole lot of cars in the parking lot at the malls today, but bargains are to be had and money is to be spent. That's the latest from Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. I'm Jeff Flock with the Fox Business Network.
I know I spent my share last week. Well, coming up, we'll get a preview of some new movies coming out, including a return to the big screen for John Travolta. Sometimes life imitates art, and other times it's the other way around. David Daniel has one example in today's Hollywood Minute.
Calling all channels. Come in. Multiple instrument failure. Electrical failure. Fuel status critical.
The short film The Shepherd is about a young pilot in a tough situation. Nearly the same situation executive producer and co-star John Travolta says inspired him to take the role. Variety reports Travolta recalled the 1992 incident during a Q&A in London recently, saying he experienced total electrical failure piloting his family over Washington, D.C. Travolta eventually made a safe landing. The Shepherd lands on Disney Plus Friday.
We should be out there snacking on bad guys.
The follow-up to Venom: Let There Be Carnage is back on track. Franchise star Tom Hardy posted on social media that the third and final installment had resumed production after the 118-day SAG-AFTRA strike. Hardy posted, "It's great when you love what you do and when you know you have great material and the support at all sides of a great team." The third, as yet untitled Venom movie is due out November 8th, 2024. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Can't believe they're making a third. That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with video of a baby marsupial at a Polish zoo. How cute. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.